All right, this is the last differentiate with respect to the given variable one, number 13. And so once again, find the derivative. And so we could call this dsdr, s prime of r. All those mean the same thing, right? So we'll just do dsdr this time. Use a little Leibniz notation. So this is another one of those three-layer functions. Remember, if we have like f of g of h of x, right? And we take the derivative of this, then we end up with f primed. Everything stays the same inside of f primed, right? Times g prime, and everything stays the same inside of g prime, and then finally times h prime, right? So, okay, so that's what we're doing here. So here it's a little different, right? Because we have this exponent on the outside. So remember that we can rewrite this whole thing as cosine of 2r to the 10th cubed, right? So you don't have to rewrite that, but just remember that this is the outer function, right? So that cubed is the outer function, right? And everything else is inside. So then the next level, the next layer would be the cosine, right? Okay, and then the final layer would be the 2r to the 10th. Okay, and so that's the order. So I'm going to start with the power rule with the cube there. So I'm going to start with this. So the derivative of anything cubed, or x cubed, is going to be 3x squared, right? But instead of x squared, it's going to be cosine squared, right, of 2r to the 10th. So that's the derivative of the outer function. That's our f primed of g of h of x. Okay, so I kept the cosine the same, right? And I kept the 2r to the 10th the same. So now I'm going to take the derivative of cosine, right? Because that's the next layer, is the cosine part. So the derivative of cosine is negative sine. So I'm going to multiply by a negative sine. And then I'm going to keep its input the same, right? 2r to the 10th. Okay, so this stayed the same. All right. Then finally, I'm just going to take the derivative of that inner function, the 2r to the 10th part. So the derivative of that would be 20r to the 9th. Okay. All right, and now some minor simplification. We can simplify. We can multiply 20r to the 9th and 3, right? And I'm going to bring that negative out to the front as well. So I'm going to multiply all those together, okay? So 3 times 20 is 60, and then negative 1 times 60 is negative 60, and then I'll tag on that r to the 9th as well. So it'll be negative 60 r to the 9th cosine squared of 2r to the 10th sine of 2r to the 10th. And that's it. Okay. All right. So that's it. So not too bad, you know, and you can kind of see the chain rule structure, right? We have these chain links that we're, these chains that we're linking up, right? And so we just keep multiplying by the derivative of the inner function until we don't have an inner function anymore, right? To derive. So, all right, and then don't forget to label, right? Make sure that you have some indication that we're finding a derivative, right? Like this, what we found here is not equal to what we started with, right? So don't just put equal signs. Make sure that you label what you're finding on the test.